There you go.
We are actually going to go live a little bit early. I won't take your questions till 2 o'clock, but I want to apologize to you guys. Craziest thing, like to get everything set and like the power goes off, computer's not working and the monitor's not working and then the lights go off and then the microphone's not working. It was like, holy cow. So, alrighty. Well, we've got a couple people on the line right now. We've got other people jumping on. We will start promptly at 2 o'clock. I think Jeremy actually might be putting this live on my Facebook page. You guys are welcome to share this with anybody that you would like. And I am pretty much going to sit here as a one gal panel and answer some questions that you may have. Let's see what we can do. The biggest thing that we are going to be able to do, let me see if, I wonder if the Q&A feature would be a good idea. Nah, the Q&A feature is not the best idea. We'll just go back to the chat feature. Just a sec. Uh-oh. Okay, Jeremy, I lost where the chat feature went. Let's see. Fortunately, we haven't started yet, so... All righty, let me see where the viewers are. Hey, Jeremy, I can't see the viewers. For some reason, control room, there's control room there. Here's the webinar jam room. Here we go. All righty. Crazy, crazy. All righty. Well, we've got about 4 more minutes and we will be at the top of the hour. And then I'm going to actually answer some of your questions. Prajeep, how often will I be available for advice? Well, if you want one-on-one advice, you absolutely are going to have to book a VIP day or something like that. This is going to be a mastermind. So that means that when we meet in a mastermind capacity, which will be twice a month for an hour in a live webinar format, we will have a topic that we're going to do. We'll have some things that we go on there regularly. I will pop into the group multiple times during the week. There will not be any one-on-one coaching during the group, but what I will do is I'll have some different peer collaborations and some discussions on what you guys are going to be working through. One of the biggest things that I see is that people go through my classes and then they don't walk everything out. So for example, Prajeep, I want to know why you don't have 50,000 people on your Facebook page already. You've been following me for the last 2.5 years. You made 6 figures. What's going to happen in the mastermind is you're going to have that kind of accountability. When you have that kind of accountability and you have 40 other people giving accountability for where they are, and there's a specific day where people are sharing ads that they have, I'm going to make sure that the content in the group is moderated, just like we would a college classroom, but it's definitely going to be at a higher level. So if you're still trying to figure out whether or not you should be blogging, or you still haven't taken my Facebook Ads 2.0 class, you got to get into my inner circle. The inner circle is where I pretty much share with 3 or 4 business owners what I personally would do if I were to give them $100,000 and ask them for a 15% return. You're going to see me actually on television in this spring or summer of next year. You're also going to see me more and more involved in that angel type investing. And I don't invest in just anybody. I invest in a business that has the potential to make money, because I obviously want a percentage back for a certain amount of time. But I also invest into businesses that have business people doing what they should be doing to generate a profit and to maintain sustainability. Now, mind you, a lot of people who've never made money in business think I'm just looking for things that can make money. Heck no, because I can make money anywhere I want. I'm not trying to be cocky or anything, but as an angel investor, and this is the thing that I show in Inner Circle, I'm looking for the person who has profitability and sustainability. They just can't get past several $1,000s. And then I show them exactly what they should be doing. Every single person who's had their business reviewed in there has gone on and had great reviews. So, well, actually, Prajeep, you'd have to talk to my staff, my one-on-ones tend to be $18,000 for a full day. That includes 6 hours in my office, an hour or two before and an hour or two after. There will be a discount for some of our VIPs, and I'm only doing 7 VIP days next year. You obviously would not be able to do a VIP day or even a phone call without an application. What I have discovered is people don't need to get on the phone with me for an hour. They need to get in a room and accountability and a live webinar with me and other peers who are doing what they want to do twice per month to not only propel them forward with accountability, but the other thing is if you've got a sales page and you have 30 people who can give you some peer review, and by the way, peer review is not, I think it's a great sales page. I think you should rewrite your headline. There's specific directions that I have taught in copywriting for the last 8 years, and I've learned it from multi-billionaire Michael Masterson, who built the legendary company Early to Rise and worked with Agora and still does right now. And that is how to do peer review on a scoring level, telling your peers whether or not it's confusing, unbelievable, boring. We're going to have that kind of copywriting review. A lot of small business owners are really drawn to things like systems and processes. I can think of right now business trainers who are selling between $1,000 and $1,500, these academies and these systems and processes and whatever. Well, I've bought all of them. And I'll tell you what, you're going to get a great website up. You're going to get all kinds of information about outsourcing. You're going to get all kinds of information about how to put up Facebook, Instagram, whatever. They're going to deal with some of your head stuff, but no one is talking about what you've got to do on an absolute daily basis, what you have to do weekly, how you get money to come in every single day, how you grow your email list every day. No one is talking about content that converts every single day. Most people are talking about launches several times a year that look all fantastic and are built on the old school internet marketing model. But the reason that my ability to help business owners succeed is because it doesn't matter what business you're in. The things that you need to do to grow that client base, build content that people respond to, have great relationships, read your data, and put the right offer out there with copy is going to be done pretty much the same no matter what you sell. Then what we do is we kind of fine tune it for your industry. Nobody's teaching that kind of stuff. People teach how to write a few ads, but nobody is teaching how to get higher conversions, how to lower your ad spend, what kind of ads should we be doing all the time. A mastermind is for people who know that is what they should be doing, but they simply don't know how to walk it out. You see, the reality is I could sell to all of you right now because you think you need systems and processes. I could sell to you an academy or some kind of course that'll make you feel like all your ducks in a row. But within 6 months, what is going to be in your bank account? Because if you don't know how to write copy and you don't know how to create content that is converting, and you don't understand how to target micro niches on a regular basis and put some tools in place that sell for you. I'm not talking about internet goofy marketing. I'm talking about having a marketing plan that every 8 to 12 weeks, you know money's coming in because of what you're doing. And then you already know what's going to be selling automatically during the middle. Then you know what days during the week you got to work hard and what days like I've been in my office all day, but I'm probably only working a couple hours today because today's kind of a fluff and slow day. I need some fluff and slow days, and so do you, because there's other days where it's just like, bam, you know, super energy to the wall, and I've got to work really hard. That's the kind of stuff I'm going to talk about. I don't know why most people don't teach that kind of thing. Maybe because a lot of people aren't willing to walk it out. But one of the things that I do that stands out in the marketplace is I can help beginning business owners, and I can help business owners who've made lots of money to get these things in order. Stan says, how do you stand out from the crowd when there are thousands of other people trying to sell the exact same thing? Well, the reality is, Stan, it's got to be about you. It's got to be about your culture, and it's got to be about your message. And so even the belief that you have that there's thousands of people, so how do I stand out? That's an erroneous belief that direct response marketers have sold to you. They have told you, Stan, you've got to stand out and you've got to be different than everybody else. Part of that is true, but most of that is bogus on social media. You know what you got to do, Stan? You have to hone in on where your customers are currently buying from other people. And then you have to hone in on the words on social media and online that they are already responding to. And you have to take those words and that targeting, and you have to sift yourself right inside there like a tsunami so that you show up. Is everybody else going to be there? Yes. But you've done your due diligence to find out what they're responding to. Your uniqueness in standing out is important, but it doesn't matter if you're standing out and you're not targeting the right people and you're not saying the words that they're already responding to. That's what we're going to talk about in the mastermind. Now, if you've never done any of this kind of stuff before, you haven't taken my Facebook ads class, you haven't taken my Twitter for Business class, you got two choices. You can either take those now and move forward in VIP, or you got to take those and then get into Inner Circle. It's going to be impossible for me to help anybody in VIP who hasn't taken Facebook Ads 2.0. It's a 4-hour call. Class. There's also bonus material. The issue is that the key pieces that you need to make money is what you got to focus on. What happens is when y'all get overwhelmed and you're frustrated you're not making enough money, and you're frustrated because you don't feel motivated, and you're frustrated because you don't feel like you're going anywhere, you try doing all kinds of stuff to make you feel like you're accomplishing something in your business. Well, I want to show you how to do the right things to make money and to increase your client base. There's nothing actually to see, Teresa. I'm actually speaking directly on the screen. And so, am I going to teach copywriting, Prajip? No, I'm not going to be teaching directly copywriting. No, but I'm going to show you how to find your niche and where you should be looking and how you can start writing your own copy without a mentor. Okay, I've already taught a lot of copywriting. I've already taught all that kind of different thing. A mastermind now is to help you get the greater results. How long has this been going? Just managed to log in. Jody, we just started at 2 o'clock. I actually will do a recording. Let's see. This is actually being recorded. Yes. So, yeah, Webinar Jam is cool, Stan, but I will tell you, Webinar Jam is cool when you're going to have thousands of people. But Zoom.us is really very intuitive. It's very easy to use. We will be using that for our mastermind so that, you can have 30 or 40 people up on the screen. We are actually going to take the mastermind down to only 200 people. There's actually 29 seats left. And so the thing is that initially I was going to do it with 500, but I know I had 7 VIP days available, and I'd like to open up that to a little bit more. Traditionally, it's been $35,000 to $50,000 to mentor with me for a year. So for me to take this down to a lower level like this, the issue is that people who step into this have got to be convinced that they are going to get results. You know what I mean? They've got to be convinced that they know they're going to do whatever needs to be done. And if they basically are asking a bazillion questions to see what I can give for them, they need to really go into Inner Circle and work more on their business. A mastermind helps you to get the results that you already know you're lacking. So some of you know you've gone through all my classes, but you just are not quite sure what to blog about and how to get your email list growing. You've been trying to do opt-ins for a long time. So what's going to happen is we might have a breakout group for a couple of weeks where 10 or 20 people might be working on their opt-in and critiquing each other's opt-ins. Some of you know that you've got your opt-in buzzing, you've got emails coming in, things are growing, but you know that what you're currently selling is not going to make you enough money. And so you have to really think about what could you do to create, say, an info product. You might want to go into a breakout group for a week or two and work through my Info Product Made Simple class. You get Info Products Made Simple, you get Social Media Masters, you get 12 Weeks Your Store, you get all of this training with the mastermind. And if you went in with people who are doing Info Products Made Simple, and somebody's leading that group and I come in there once or twice a week to answer a few questions, by the end of that little breakout session, you'll know what you're going to market with your info product. Now, knowing what you're going to market with your info product becomes irrelevant if you have absolutely nobody on your email list and you still aren't doing Facebook ads. You're basically just running down a ship with like a slow leak and no paddles. So once you've got the idea of what you know you're going to market as an info product or how you're going to position the product you drop ship or your direct sales product or a product you make, whatever it is, services, etc. I've pretty much sold services and products. There's really not a whole lot I haven't done in 20 years. Now what's going to happen is you have to devote 80% of your time growing that client base. You have to devote 80% of your time to marketing. I have a client base with millions of people in our client base. I have over 1.7 million people on social media, and I still spend 60% of my time growing that client base and creating engaging content. And some of you are like freaking out. Well, that's what happens. Once you know what you're going to start out with, your mission is to grow that client base. And unfortunately, it's the thing most of you don't do. You put up the systems, you go through all these trainings, you get all these different things, you work on your mindset, you set up all your different pages, you find out you need to outsource, you find out how to, work in your marriage, all these other different things that are great, but you do not have any clients to sell to. You don't have anybody to write an email list to every single day. And that's where we're going to work aggressively, because every company I've ever built, all 12 companies I've ever built, I have built client bases over 50,000 people. My first one, now I've got millions of people in a client base. When you have like 50 to 100,000 people in your client base, all you got to do is write an email and you make money. Once you have specific things that you can market, it's that easy. And unfortunately, some of you are building and spending only all of your time on Facebook. You've got to learn how, and it takes like, 3 hours a week to be able to do email and social media and growing that client base. Then you spend the rest of your time creating great content, making sure that you are constantly growing your skill to keep you above and, growing in the marketplace. And then also you do things that support your creativity, like do a hobby, for crying out loud. Have a day where you come in the office and you just get to dream and do whatever the heck you want to. That's when things are going to grow. Some of you approach your business like you do a classroom, and all you think every day is your to-do list, and you approach it like you're in school or something. And yet, if you had a client base constantly growing, you would never lack motivation. Write that down. If you had a client base growing every single day, and every single week you added 250 to 300 people to your Facebook page, but you added 100 people to your email list. If you added 100 people to your email list every single week, check this out, 52 weeks, 100 people every week, you'd have 5,200 people at the end of the year. Some of you, if you had 100 people every single day or 25 people every single day to your email list, a lot of what you're dealing with would go away, because now it would become very important to learn the psychology of marketing, writing great copy that your ideal client responds to, and constantly growing that list. It gets very, very easy. Do I still recommend Facebook ads even though most people get no engagement? People don't even see your posts. The reality is, Stan, I can tell you haven't taken my classes. The reason people aren't seeing your posts are not because of Facebook's algorithm. That's a bunch of bogus crap that social media marketers have told you. And I'm not saying it's your crap or anything. I'm saying there's a lot of social media people who said, oh my God, the algorithms are changing. Now take my class. No, the reality is the algorithms changed a little bit, but the content that you're creating is not being seen because your clients aren't interested in it. You do Facebook ads to grow your Facebook page just like you would an email list. So you find out, you test micro niches, just like I teach in my Facebook ads 2.0. You test dark posts and you find that ideal group of people, preferably 10 to 30 different pages that are micro niches. And then what happens is you constantly, every day, market to those people to come over to your page. And then your page becomes your funnel of front-end marketing. And you create a specific amount of marketing every single day. You only do 10 to 15%. And the other content is to grow culture. Now, if nobody's seeing what you're doing, you can't really pay for people to see it unless, of course, you're boosting a post. You only boost a post when you have something to sell. But the way I don't pay for any of my content to be seen, and we have over 87% of the people out of 1 million who are interacting with what we do. We have a reach right now of 4.7 million, and my average post has 397,000 people out of 1 million seeing it. How does that happen? Not because I paid for it, but because I studied who those people are. And I targeted specifically for them to come to that page. And I know what they're going to respond to in life and business and spirituality and all the different things that I want to talk about. And so I don't pay for people to see my content, I create content that I already know they're going to respond to. How do I feel about Medium? Well, Deanna, Medium is a free blogging platform, and I think it's fantastic. But if I'm not mistaken, in their terms of service, you can't sell anything through it. So if you're constantly using free blog platforms and you don't have a blog platform that you own the domain and you can write and sell anything you want, now you're in trouble. It's like constantly renting real estate and you don't own anything. When you constantly rent real estate, you have rules that you have to obey, because your landlord's telling you what you can and cannot do. And so free blogging platforms, just like on Facebook, there's rules. There's rules on Instagram, there's rules on Twitter. You've got to, and all of that's fine, but you've got to have a home base. That's where your blog is, and you own that real estate, and nobody's allowed to tell you what you're allowed to sell. Nobody can tell you, like within moral, ethical, FTC reasons, what you can market. That's very, very important. So Medium's okay, but don't build your whole client base there. Don't build your whole platform there. Claudia says that she's a new author, have published one book that's now a bestseller. Right on, Claudia. Would the VIP work for me, or should I have more products first? No, actually, I actually sold over $670,000 worth of my Be More book. I self-published that, and since I think it was like October of last year, we sold over $670,000 worth of the books and journals. Now, here's the deal, Claudia. What you've got to do is build a highly targeted platform, like Facebook and Twitter and your blog. And you've got to build something around what you do and not just that book, because your next bestseller, your publisher is going to pay you for the size of that platform. That's how I've been able to look at really, really big book deals. The thing is, Claudia, if you get in VIP, I want you to take Facebook Ads 2.0 and magnetic engagement before we start in the beginning of the year. The other thing is that, you're going to put your deposit down. Payments don't start until the end of the year. As soon as you make your first payment, like in December, now you start getting access to some of these other classes. Social Media Masters will help you a great deal, but you definitely want to make sure that you're taking magnetic engagement as well as Facebook Ads 2.0, Claudia. So, and let me lower some hands because I've already answered some of their questions. And if you have a question, go ahead and type that in. Deanna said she just started applying ads to a brand new page that she started last week, and the 2 ads in 2 days brought in 300 new followers. That's amazing. And you're going to master my system, period. We get to choose our mentors. Oh, that's awesome. Deanna, here's the deal. Now, see, when you're seeing those kind of results right there, you may be thinking, I don't know if I'm ready for VIP. Here's the deal. Just like I told you, I've got people all the time. Haley Bilkin is one of my case studies, okay? So she's like never done any of this. She was making a lot of money offline. She came online. There's all kinds of people in the mastermind who were making all kinds of money, but Haley didn't have anything to reference as far as copywriting and stuff like that. And she, seriously, this year, since January, has not only built a huge client base, added over 10,000 people into her, I think it's 5,000 or 10,000 people into her funnel and all that. She's built new info product business. Oh, by the way, she had her first child. And she's gone from doing everything in a local practice as a speech pathologist to bringing things online. The thing is that if I can get somebody like you, Deanna, doing that in the first couple days, imagine what's going to happen by the time we're ready to start the VIP in January. What you would be doing is you want to put your deposit down, and then you want to really work on Facebook ads, magnetic engagement. You probably want to hang out in Inner Circle for $47. This is the other reason why we dropped the price. Before, it used to be $35,000 to mentor with me. $20,000 for 6 months if you weren't going to have any calls and stuff like that. I can help more people in this capacity because now you can go take the different classes that I have. And I'm not going to teach a ton of classes next year. There's probably only 1 or 2 things that I'm going to teach. The issue is we've got tens of thousands of people who got to master this stuff. And unfortunately, nobody's teaching the kind of thing that helps you generate your own leads, helps you build a huge email list, and helps you to convert the campaigns that you're sending to that email list and on social media. So that's what we're really, really going to focus on. Brandy said that she's an assistant to a real estate broker. We're in a small country town in Florida. That's awesome. Actually, Brandy, I've built a lot of businesses in very small towns online. We have 1,700 likes on our page. What would be our first step? Well, the biggest thing, Brandy, is you've got to start understanding what it means to build culture on your page. Obviously, with real estate, You could probably target people within a 50-mile radius. You obviously are going to have some out-of-town people, but people will drive, 45 minutes to an hour and a half to see something that they're interested in. You're going to do Facebook ads. You're not necessarily going to target micro niches. Facebook ads 2.0 is going to be your best friend. And then also pay attention to magnetic engagement. I think, Brandy, if you were to get into VIP, talk to the broker that you're working for. It would be really wise for them to pay for you to be in that, because you could go through Social Media Masters. You'll have all the input from the mastermind. You can go through Info Products Made Simple. And by the way, those all come for free. There's $4,000 worth of training, by the way, that comes with enrollment in the VIP program. And then you get some, feedback with the group. I'm also in the group, checking in several times a week. We have 2 live masterminds virtually during the month. So it would be really, really great for you to do that. Alrighty, who else has a question? Let's see. So Sandra says she has 2 businesses, legal accounting and social media and life coaching, and she has 2 separate pages. Well, the issue is that you're doing a lot of services. And Sandra, if we were to work in VIP, what I'm going to tell you is it's time for you to decide what is making you the most amount of money, because nobody can spin that many plates that much at one time. I am opening my apparel company in the next 2 weeks. We're also opening finally the Crack House Coffee Club for special orders coffees several times per year. But you have to understand, I have other people running those, the different companies that I'm investing in. And by the way, guess what happens as an angel investor when I pour $100,000 into that company, and I pour $100,000 into that company, and I pour $20,000 here? I get those people together periodically every month or every couple months, and we mastermind. And I give them specific advice. The cool thing is, with angel investing, I get a percentage back. And so, but what I always tell people, Sandra, is unless you're making 6 figures in all of these, it is time for you to decide which one is actually making you the most money, which one do you absolutely love the most, and which one do you see that you could duplicate your efforts and increase your profits. That's where I'd like to see you focus for 6 months rather than trying to juggle all kinds of things at one time. By the way, nobody ever juggles 5 businesses that all make them $10,000 and they end up making 50 grand. It doesn't happen. Usually always implodes. What happens is they start out with a couple and they find the one that they really would be good at, and they go hard with it for at least a year, and that will make you 50,000 even faster. Tamiko says she just wanted to let me know that she's got her 13,000 launch on her Busy Moms Guide. That's awesome. And you can attribute your success to do what we're doing. That's awesome. So I'm excited to see you, Tamiko. I hope that you'll be getting into the VIP program. Molly says, are any of the classes available in the inner circle or only with VIP? Molly, the classes that we put into our vault are not available for sale anymore. They're actually 12 mentorships that I have done. And so you're going to kind of be self-pacing yourself with those mentorships. What is available in Inner Circle within the next 2 weeks, I believe it is, we have a 2 or 3 year vault at an Inner Circle level. And what would happen is every single month I would pick a topic and I would do 2 to 3 videos that are 15 to 20 minutes long, dissecting that topic with some specific action steps. And so I am actually going to, turn off my space heater that I have on here. Don't you love it when it's like you go from air conditioning to space heater to whatever? What happens in the Inner Circle, though, is you really want to make sure that you go through some of those individual pieces while you're also watching me review businesses. When we get into the VIP, you would have some of those 12-week mentorships that we have, and that's where we're going to create some fun breakout sessions. I will not be leading every breakout session. Obviously, I'm only one person, and that's not my absolute value that I bring to the marketplace. But what we would be doing is I would have a leader, and you guys would be going through the different courses, and then also, walking through some different things. Stan says, as a business coach, do you think I'd be better off marketing and targeting individual entrepreneurs or companies and brands, or both? It just depends what you want to do. And so only work with dentists, for example, or all types of business. It just depends what you want to do, Stan. Some people would tell you to market yourself specifically for an industry, and other people would tell you if you have a core competency that you're able to impart and teach that is applicable to multiple industries, you might want to be known as that in the marketplace. For me, actually copywriting and social media with direct response marketing online is my specialty. And I started out working with a specific niche, and we had all kinds of businesses working with our programs. Going into 2016, however, I'm working on a book deal for a book that I'm bringing out as far as spirituality and faith in the marketplace. And really excited about that, teaching people how to bring all kinds of different faiths and the diversity and stuff that we see in the marketplace and creating wonderful harmony and unity. And so where I'm going to be devoting my time to our clients in 2016 is in Inner Circle and VIP. If I do any webinars, there'll probably be maybe, I don't know, 2 or 3 at the most, just depends. That is where a lot of my time will be devoted. And so, because I'll have some speaking and stuff and then some television. So I'm really excited to be able to do that. Now, because of that, there's a specific skill set that I specialize in that doesn't matter what business it is. I can help you get email converting. Doesn't matter what business it is. I can help you create culture. Because here's what happens, Stan. When you build a business, unless you're a beginner and you have no idea what the heck you're going to do, you already know pretty much who you want to market to, and you're doing a lot of research, and you really have to do better as far as branding yourself or creating that culture. And for me, I teach people how to create culture on a Facebook page that would be very similar to like a brick and mortar store. You know, if we had a coffee shop and you guys came into my coffee shop in the morning or after work every day, what would our culture be built around? What would we be talking about other than coffee? If you came in to see me every day, there's going to be a couple different things, whether my coffee shop's hipster, whether it's real upscale, whether it's, you know, all creative, super modern, very traditional, just depends. That kind of culture is what's going to resonate with you. You've got to create that same kind of thing on your Facebook page. And so if you're going to go into a kind of work that you do for multiple businesses, make sure you're building that culture. And even if you're niche specific, getting very specific in your niche, like just working with dentists, make sure you build that culture as well. Let me see. Actually, Jasmine, that has a lot to do with your targeting and your copy. Erica says, I have business that I run, 2 of them, both pages have the business name. What should I do? I'm not understanding what you're saying, Erica. Here's the deal. Having 2 businesses and having 2 business pages is one thing, but are they generating money? And so you really want to focus on, you know, which one's generating the most money. Michelle says, as VIPs, are you doing any live events where we get to see you in person? Yeah, actually, I look forward to that. My VIPs that we're working with for the last 90 days, they're meeting me in the next week or so. I think it's in 2 weeks. They'll all be here in my office for a fun 5-day session. I absolutely will be doing some small groups within the VIP where I'll let 20 people, rather than having to pay, say, $18,000, $20,000, you might be able to pay a very small fee for all of you to come, but you'd have to be on an application because it's a specific person that you'd want to bring into this. We actually have a great room that has like a, probably about 25 feet. The whole wall is a whiteboard, and it's really fun to be able to map out and build things like that. The other thing is if we spend 3 or 4 hours, 5 hours one-on-one together, that's like spending 6 months of half-hour phone calls. It's even better, even better. So very, very excited about that. Actually, Cheryl, I can't send you the link for the Facebook ads 2.0. Go to my website at arealchange.com. You'll find it there. And Jody says, is Facebook good for a business-to-business product? Absolutely. We actually are business-to-business. So Michelle says, am I going to get help with an opt-in? I need to rewrite mine. What we're going to do, Michelle, is like, for example, we've got 6 months together. So that's 12 virtual live masterminds that are an hour long. And we might spend a whole time talking about opt-ins. Then we might do a breakout session. You guys will go through some training that I previously taught on opt-ins and how to craft your opt-in and what you should be doing with the graphics and stuff. And then you would be supporting each other. So that's the kind of thing that you would get. Laura says, if I'm able to pay the total amount today, I'm still required. Yeah, we actually aren't taking the wire transfers for the pay in full, Laura, until December. So you would have to secure your position today. And then, you know, if you want to pay it the first week of December, we'll probably be releasing that to everybody who's paid. Then you would make sure you take care of it then, and then you get that deposit back. It's actually not even really a deposit. It's a part of your tuition. It's the first portion of your tuition, and then you're getting that back. Let me see who else has a question. If you have a question, go ahead and push that in. Molly says in Inner Circle, how does the application to business evaluate work? Well, Molly, actually what we do is I have people submit to me some specific information that I give them. And then I do this at the beginning of every month. Right now I'm reviewing about 70 different applications, and I'll pick 3 to 4. And I make sure they're all different business models and different levels of income and different problems that they have, which is kind of fun because typically at the end of the month, you'll see all these different problems. Most of them are not the same, and you put that all together and you'll see a great business plan. So I will be announcing that like on Thursday or Friday of this week. And then I basically go in and I do screen sharing. I review what they sent me. I tell them exactly what I would do. I literally tell everybody I love them. I encourage them, but bam, put on my coach's mentor hat and tell them, you got to fix this. You got to do this. You got to do this. You got to do that. And it's really been just absolutely revolutionary. I think we're also going to start doing even a few periodic breakout things in Inner Circle on specialty topics that people might want to do. So that should be fun. Jody says, I've created a coaching psychometric. Would it be good to get this to independent coaches? Not quite sure what you're talking about. Probably something we'd have to talk about in Inner Circle or a private VIP day. Andrea says, what are the key steps to take to bring back focus and leave the busyness? Well, the reality is, Andrea, busyness comes from the fact that you don't know what makes you the most amount of money and you don't have a big enough client base. And so if you knew what made you the specific amount of money in your business and you could write great copy and you're constantly growing that client base, the busyness tends to fall away, because busyness happens when we're struggling. We know we need to make money, and we've learned in school and a regular job that you've got to go, 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 and then somebody pays us, okay? Or somebody gives us a degree, or somebody gives us a completion certificate. This is where that psychology comes from busyness. So then as an entrepreneur, you're not making enough money. You don't realize yet you need to write better copy, you need to create better content, you got to speak to a specific client, and you got to grow that client base, but you know you're not making any money. So you start doing all kinds of stuff, because what do we do in a regular job? We work hours and hours and hours and hours, and we trade our hours for dollars. But in a business, how you make money is to have a specific item that the marketplace or service will pay you for. And you have to know exactly how to present that to the right people, speaking in their language, having ideal targeting, having great positioning, and build a huge client base. All of you write this down. There are 3 ways you can grow any business. Really, only 3. You ready for them? I'm going to write them down with you so that we can model each other. Number 1, get more customers. Okay, so we know if 5 people a month are buying from you right now, you want to make more money, get 50 people a month buying from you. Or number 2, you can charge the people who are buying from you now more money, and you can raise your income. So there's 3 ways you can increase your income in any business model. This works. You can get more customers buying. You can charge more for the same thing to raise your income. Or number 3, what you can do is you can get people to buy more than one. It's called a second glass. So we've got three choices in any business. How do we increase our income? Doesn't matter if you're Camping World, Cisco, Amazon, Apple, copywriting services, network marketing, doesn't matter. Three things you can do. You can get more customers buying. You can charge the current customers more money to make more money, or you can get people buying more than one. The thing that we're going to really focus on in VIP is getting more people taking a first glass, buying one item. Raising your fees is very successful when you have a specialized service or product, but that's a very tiny portion of you. And that doesn't work with every business. It actually could make you go bankrupt if you do it wrong. Getting people to buy more than one, a second offering, never happens until you get more and more people buying a first offering. Organically, it's so wild. If you sell 10 items or 10 services per month, and you just go to 50, interestingly enough, that expansion not only gets more word out organically by word of mouth because you're impacting more people, but it also creates more momentum in you, which compounds interest and causes more money. But the biggest thing we're going to focus on is getting more people in your email list client base that you can email campaigns to. We're going to talk about how to do those email campaigns, and then also in your social media followings. If everything else you're doing, like having a perfect blog, having perfect time management, making sure that you're outsourcing. Why the heck are we outsourcing if we're not making any money? Sometimes we can think we need to outsource, but all we're doing is the busy work. Remember what I told you? We learned at work that when you produce, work hours, somebody gives us dollars. And so when we're not quite sure what to do with our business, we think we need to outsource because we're super, super busy. You have to discern out of the things you're doing every single day, what is generating you an income and what is growing your client base. Those are your biggest focuses. Claudia, I'm so glad for you to sign up for our VIP. That's awesome. Your book is called Positively Perfect, How to Love and Utilize Your Perfectionistic Qualities. That's awesome. And How to Target Perfectionists in Facebook Ads 2.0. What you're going to do, Claudia, I'm going to teach you how to do micro niche targeting, and then make sure that you go through the bonus content before we get started in December. Pay your deposit and then go through Facebook Ads 2.0. You're going to have a blast with that. It's going to be a lot of fun. Not to mention, what's really fun is while we're doing VIP, I'll be actually working with my publisher. My book will be coming out right after the election, because if I want airspace on like Good Morning America and all these shows that they're getting airtime for me, we got to make sure I'm not competing with the election. But what's really fun is once the election's done and all that airspace opens up, that's when the book will come out. But there's going to be a lot of preliminary stuff going on in January, February, March, April, May, and June. And it'll be fun to share that very specifically with some of my VIPs too. So, all righty. Brandy says, if I sign up for VIP, can I start working in the Facebook ads class? Actually, yeah, what I recommend you do is put your deposit on VIP and then go get your Facebook ads class, start working on that regularly, do the bonus content. I'm amazed at how many people don't do the bonus content. Put yourself on a learning schedule of about 4 hours per week. If you go through Facebook ads and do 4 hours per week of learning, you'll go through the whole thing in like 2 weeks, and then I want you to listen to it again. Whenever I take any kind of training, some people don't realize this, I do it at least 10 times. So I watch the whole thing, then I go back and I listen to something while I'm like cleaning or doing my breakfast in the morning or getting ready or whatever. If it takes me an hour to get ready every morning, I'll listen to something every day for like a week. And then I go back and I take some notes the third time. The next time I'll put it in my car, and wherever I'm driving for a week, I'm listening to it. And so what happens by the end of the month, I have literally saturated that topic. One of the things that I did when I homeschooled all of my children, K through 12, is we really saturated topics. And that's how you get very, very familiar with something and you get beyond just surface knowledge. That specialty is what will help pay you more money. Thank you, Claudia. I'm really excited about it too, because my book is about spirituality at work and really defining who we are, being our truest self, and being powerful to walk in our faith and our belief. And here's the deal. Obviously, everybody knows I'm a radical born-again Christian, but this book is going to be for all kinds of people. Because if we truly are walking in powerful diversity and harmony, that means that you could have all kinds of people with different faiths, or even somebody might even be an atheist. But the issue is even atheists want to be kind, and they want to be loving, and they want to be hopeful. And I truly believe we are ending a generation. The signs are everywhere, all over the world, on TV, everywhere, that people are now talking about that. What do you believe? And we are in the workforce, most of us, 40 to 60 hours per week, and we're not turning that off. What we've got to do is get it out of our head, these goofy religious things that we do that are not only offensive, but stupid. And we have to start loving people, being honorable, being kind, and really learning how to work powerfully with people who believe differently than we do. So anyway, didn't mean to go off on that. I'm excited for you guys to see that book. It is going to make a lot of people love it, and it's going to make some people not like it, but that's what I'm called to do. How long is registration going to be open? As soon as it's full. So that means like it could close this week. It could close next week. I've seen it go where it almost fills up, and then we spend another 2 weeks closing out the last couple, slots. This program is very different. We got tons of people getting into Inner Circle. We've got some people who already worked with me this year who booked some private VIP days. And so as far as I know, it will probably be open for a couple more days to a week, but I can't guarantee that. We also might let it go maybe 20 over the 200, because you're always going to have 1% of people who are goofy and cancel and really don't want to do anything with their life. And so the biggest thing that I would say is to jump in as quickly as you can. You get the bonus content you don't get till next year, Luann, and so you get access to that after your first payment. That actually is going to be released specifically in a membership area for VIPs. And it's also copywritten and protected information. So there'll be specific, obviously when you're working through it, that's when you'll get access to it. Well, Andrea, homeschooling was the best thing I ever did, and homeschooling was the hardest thing I ever did. I can say I'm super, super grateful for the relationship that I have with my 3 sons. And I can say that all 3 of my sons, 19, 22, and 28, have all been creating for them gainfully employed since they graduated. All of them have been gainfully employed since they graduated. They're all living on their own. They're all driving a great car. They're definitely not living in poverty. None of them are in debt. And so there's definitely a lot of things I did right, a lot of things I didn't do right. This is when you look back and go, yeah, I did that for 20 years. And that was like, oh, and this was great. The thing I will say, though, is that it has been my honor to watch them make great decisions. And while I'm definitely not responsible for what they do now, I'm also not responsible for how incredibly powerful they are. But I absolutely am blessed that I am responsible for doing what I was called to do and really boosting them through that and being a way out of the box homeschooler. Sometimes they couldn't figure me out, but now it's starting to make a whole lot more sense to them. Super, super proud of them. Magnetic engagement Facebook ads are purchased separately from VIP. Yes, absolutely, Tamiko. That's where the price is really, really low, like it is. We actually were thinking about making VIP $5,000 and giving those different things, but I figured, no, why would I do that? We'll only do $477 a month because there's some people who've already taken those and they don't need them. So we definitely priced it much lower. The other thing is that when I do copywriting, it's $3,995 per hour for me to write copy, and it's $2,995 per hour for me to edit somebody's copies. So this gives me an opportunity to help more people and make it affordable for them. I have very limited availability next year, and so I really want to make sure that the people that we work with in the VIP are really, really serious about going forward. Jill says she developed a product, she's ready to launch it, but lacking the money. I have a manufacturer ready to go. Well, here's the deal, Jill. If you're trying to launch a product and you don't have any money, then you got to do something that generates money, or you've got to get some investors, or you've got to take out a loan. And so without me doing any kind of assessment what it is, the thing that you would probably really want to focus on as you're waiting for that lack of money is get really, really good at your marketing. I guarantee you, even if you get that manufacturer ready and whatever, if you don't have a client base, you haven't started building your social media platforms, etc. The number one thing that I see, every single person I see come on Shark Tank, it shocks me because they're totally waiting for Shark Tank and their appearance on Shark Tank to make them a ton of money. And I'm looking at all their social media pages and going, shoot, I could help them make $250,000 within the next 6 months with what they got if they did this and this and this. And so that's a lot of what you've got to really think about when you're manufacturing something. You want to get out there with the Facebook Ads 2.0 class. Make sure you take magnetic engagement and get that moving forward. How do I plan my ads so they match my emails? Deanna, I don't necessarily plan my Facebook ads to match my emails. I'm sorry, I don't understand your question. If you want to be more specific. We've got about 12 more minutes. If anybody has any other specific questions about whether or not Inner Circle or VIP is best for you, go ahead and ask that question. Stan, I look forward to it too. Make sure as well to get a VIP day, you make sure you know that you have to be in the VIP program. I really, really look forward to working with you. Joseph, is the VIP for network marketers? Should I start with Inner Circle? Here's the deal, Joseph. There will probably about a 200. We usually have about 10% of them are in direct sales because I don't build network marketing or direct sales, as you probably saw from my other class. Like most people, I build it like a business. And so if you are making great money in that and you've taken my Facebook ads, you've taken my Facebook class for MLM, and you've taken magnetic engagement, VIP would be a great time for you. This is the only time next year that VIP will be offered. So it's going to go from January till June. And in June, we don't have any plans at all to repeat it. So what you want to decide is whether or not to go through the different classes and spend 6 months in Inner Circle, or if you want to jump in and do VIP and work on a couple different things before we get started in January. Candy, I'm super excited that you're going to be a part of it. Let me see. I'm trying to scroll up and down because it turns your questions orange. So I'm trying to find your questions here. Yeah, I started at about 1:55. I just started chatting because I wanted to make sure everything was working good. Any chance the Inner Circle will be a bonus for VIP? No, Aaron, we're not going to do that. We're thinking of charging $5,000 and giving Inner Circle for free, but the reality is it's only $477 per month. And to be honest with you, 47 times 6, you're only going to pay another $282 to be in Inner Circle. You know, if you choose to be in Inner Circle, it's definitely not that expensive. We figured it was a whole lot better to make it $477. It's actually about $3,000 rather than $5,000, so that if you are in Inner Circle, you have other classes, you can take those, or if you've already purchased them, you don't have to worry about that. No, Inner Circle does not come with VIP. We were going to do Inner Circle for free with VIP at about $5,000, but we decided to let you guys pay the additional $282 if you wanted it. You actually are going to get all the classes listed that we have on the VIP sales page. Definitely have that. Super excited to have you with us as well, Emily. And let me see, I'm scrolling up and down. Molly says, I realize this is contrary to your business belief system. What if someone isn't sure they have the time to have their business grow super quick? I don't know why you would think. It's obvious, Molly, you don't know me. You haven't been working with me very long. I don't believe that anyone should be growing their business super quick. I believe that you should grow your business as quickly as you want. During the last 20 years of my career in growing 12 companies, every single company has been grown at a different rate. When I had young children, when I was homeschooling, now I have nobody else, like in my home, little kids demanding anything from me. The issue is that VIP would be very beneficial for you, Mel, if you've taken all these different things and you want to work on something more specifically. Inner circle is what you would want to do if everything's brand new to you. And so one of the things you have to figure out is, why would you have a judgment that you think that I want everything to grow super quick? It could be because you see things grow super quick with me. But remember, I've been doing this for 20 years. And so growing a business super quick doesn't mean anything. What you want to do is grow something that's sustainable, and you want to grow it in correlation with where you are in your life. For example, Haley just had a baby, and what she's doing for the next 60 to 90 days is not necessarily growing her business slow, but she's made a conscious choice that her daughter is going to be a bigger priority to her when she's very, very little. And so what this is understanding your core value, your core belief for what you want for your life and your company. That is what my belief system is about business, making sure you're doing what matches your core belief for your company and the time that you can give. That gives so much peace. Then we don't have to compare ourselves with anybody. And we can lay our head down at night and know whether we wanted to grow by building 5 hours a week, or we wanted to grow by building 45 hours per week. It doesn't make one better than the other. What makes the most powerful one is the person who made that decision for themselves. And then they walk in it. And don't compare yourself with anybody. Joseph, I look forward to working with you as well. I'm really excited about the diversity as well of the different people that we have growing in our going into our Facebook group. Chantel, I am excited I think you're the Chantel who booked a VIP with me. I'm not quite sure. We're growing our Facebook well because of your class. How important is it to grow our Instagram and other social media services? Great question, Chantel. And I look forward, since we're doing a VIP day, and I know you're already in the VIP program, I look forward to working with you. You want to pick which one do you think would be best for your industry. Populating Twitter and all that's very, very easy to do simultaneously. Do not have your Facebook content automatically populate Twitter, because that just creates a mess. But what you're going to want to do is, out of Instagram and Pinterest, which one are you most comfortable with, and which one do you typically see the most of in your industry? I personally think, Chantel, Instagram, especially since you guys are in weight loss, you're chiropractic and you have your own practice. I personally think Instagram would be great. And we are definitely going to be jumping into Instagram ads. I actually have a free webinar that I'm going to be doing on Instagram ads here soon. And I just got some word from Facebook headquarters that Instagram ads are actually going to go into the regular ad manager here within the next week or two. So that's exciting. Catherine says she's really excited about VIP. I realize there will be lots we'll be doing, but wondering what a typical schedule will look like in a week, month for Zoom. Well, we're actually going to have 2 calls per month, webinars, Catherine, and then we'll have a couple different breakout assignments and some specific things you'll be working on your own. It's a mastermind is a whole lot different than just a mentorship and coaching, but it really gives you a lot of direction that you have been lacking. But you can depend on the beginning and the end of the month. We will have a 1-hour live webinar. That entire schedule will be released like at the end of December. I actually spend 2.5 weeks in Hawaii every December. I'm super, super excited. Let me see. We've got about 8 more minutes. If anybody else has any questions, and I'm trying to scroll through here. It's hard to see. I think you actually have to mark it as a question, and it makes it yellow. I think that's what it does. And we've had several hundred people pop in and out of here. I don't know how many seats we have left now, but I'm super excited to work with you guys. How do you change the business name on your Facebook page? Erica, one of the best things you want to do is go type a question like, how do you change the name on your Facebook page into Google? And I'm sure somebody will answer that. It's very easy to go in there, change it to your name, unless, of course, you have a brick and mortar business or you've been branded in something separately. Like you created, like my apparel company or my coffee company, we're actually going to private label coffee, and we are customizing with a special trademark process for our apparel. So obviously that won't be my name, but I'll be sharing those once a week, by the way. And the way you just go in, you can change your name. If you have any problem, the help desk in the ad manager is really, really helpful on Facebook. They're wonderful people. I'll be happy to help. Carrie says, my company that I partnered just launched digitally and I can now sell anywhere. Working and learning how to do social media. Will this help? Well, here's the deal, Carrie. I can tell you I haven't taken my Facebook Ads 2.0 or my magnetic engagement. I highly recommend if you're going to jump into the VIP program, you take Facebook Ads 2.0 and magnetic engagement before we start. This will be really, really helpful for you because you're going to have access to Social Media Masters and you're going to have access to some of the other 12-week courses that I have. There will be some learning on your own in some of those 12-week courses and then some breakout sessions and 2 live webinars every month. If you guys have loved the Inner Circle webinars, you are going to absolutely love what's going on in VIP. And so Prajeep asked, what's normal growth of a Facebook page with a $300 budget? Well, you know what, Prajeep? I've seen people do 2,000 to 3,000 people per month, and I've seen other people do 200 to 300. It just depends on your copy, depends on your targeting, and depends on your industry in that. What is the best course on copywriting that I can study before VIP? Karina, I actually don't have a copywriting course that you can purchase right now. I've had several mentorships. I'll probably give some of those for free in VIP, but I would recommend you take Facebook Ads 2.0 and pay very close attention to the content that I teach there. And I'm trying to think. No, I don't think that we have anything else. The thing is that you want to learn little bite sizes, pieces. We are actually, by the way, before the end of the year, I think it's going to be like $27. We're going to release sales page templates. How would you guys like to be able to purchase templates of my highest converting sales pages for the last 4 years, where we dissect every single piece so that you can model and swipe them and make them work on your own sales pages? And we're giving them away for $27. It's going to be ridiculous. So the sales page templates and my Facebook ads templates are great for copywriting training. I can't wait to release to you guys the sales page templates. That's Jeremy's genius project. Let's see, we've got about 4 more minutes. Kelly is working towards life coaching, empowering single parents with workshops, but she doesn't have a business list. What area do I recommend you jumping in to be able to work with you? And here's the thing, Kelly. Kelly, do you have a blog? Do you have your Facebook page? Do you have all those things set up yet? Because you could work on Facebook Ads 2.0 and magnetic engagement and jump into VIP. Because obviously you're going to have all the different trainings that you see there. If you haven't done any of that, then you probably want to work on each individual piece in Inner Circle. Let me see. Anybody else have questions as far as making decisions on whether or not Inner Circle or Facebook? I'm sorry. Inner Circle, it is like cloudy outside and I'm getting cloudy head fogginess. We've been going actually an hour because we started out at 1:55. It's not January yet, Michelle. I know it's going to be exciting. Alrighty, everybody. Well, I am looking forward to working with you guys. Some of you are going to jump into Inner Circle. Others of you are going to jump into the VIP. We've got limited seats left, and I look forward to seeing what we can do together. This will be recorded and it will be posted shortly. Talk to y'all soon.